So, 7 key takeouts from the FIPP Middle East and Africa Conference. Mobile is, to quote someone I was talking to earlier today, it's literally everything. That just came over very clear, didn't it? It's the dominant platform. Anis Abbar from Hawaii, 70% of their traffic is from the mobile. Charles Stewart, who was PricewaterhouseCoopers, talked about it's a mobile story in Africa, and he had all the data to prove it. And in fact, most of the global mobile growth in the future will come from Africa. That's exciting. Native ads, as we've just talked about, is a huge opportunity. And I thought the words of Jim Jacovidis were really good. Trust means not fooling your reader. And I'm being a little bit disingenuous when I ask Gina, where's the line? Because actually, we all know where the line is. You know when you're crossing it. And we've learned events are a completely legitimate revenue stream, a good revenue stream. You know, Katie Heskett was talking about how it builds loyalty of both the reader and the advertiser, and even better, it can be a high-margin activity. And we've heard print still matters. Gina said there, print still matters, particularly in this region. Samir Husni yesterday was passionate about print still matters. I loved the the magazine police story, Samir. I'll have to remember that. James Hughes, however, talked about it being still a luxury opportunity. You know, luxury and print go together. And the other thing is, when we saw Alvaro's presentation on innovations, you know, you can do a lot of things with magazines still. It's boundless in our creativity. And speaking about creativity, creativity drives business results. So Emma Farmer is from the Dubai Lynx, which is part of the Cannes Lions. And she had a slide showing her chief executive, Philip Thomas, getting an award from the president of Ecuador. Now, Philip Thomas, Phil to his friends, is a journalist. He started as a writer on Practical Photography magazine. He loves magazines. And whenever he sees me, he's always sort of pulling his hair out because he knows how creative our industry is. And we should be doing more with the brands to show our creativity. And the nice thing is we're starting to see that the brands are respecting that. That was a great story from Duncan about the most read piece of editorial was native advertising. Creativity matters. James Hughes referenced that parachute leap from space. You know, remember Felix Baumgarten? So he dropped for 10 minutes before he pulled the ripcord, and then dropped another 8 minutes, and every news channel in the world covered it. When he threw back to us, the challenge is not print or digital. And he's right, it's not print or digital, it's going to be print and digital, that's a given. The challenge is content and talent. And the way to get that is by having a different mindset, which is what Ashish Bagga talked about yesterday. We have to reinvent our companies to let the new breed of talent produce the fantastic quality content. And the final takeaway is the Middle East and Africa is open for business. You know, Charles Stewart's PwC data just showed the potential of this market. But Abdul Salam Haikal, and he wasn't the only man to say this, if you don't do it in Arabic, you're missing 95% of the market, which I thought was fantastic. So there are my 7 takeouts. Very quick, and I can't vouch for the spelling, but I think it works. Which leads me to just do 3 things, which is to thank people. I definitely want to thank our sponsors. we wouldn't be able to do this without sponsors. And they've all been very generous, particularly Press Reader, who are a sort of a brand, one of our sort of brand relationships that we really treasure. And Nikolai Malyarov ran some of the masterclasses next door. I want to thank my team for putting this on. It just wouldn't work. I just turn up. They do everything. I'd like to thank Barry, who agreed to be the moderator of day one. This justifies his expenses to his board. Most of all, I want to thank you, the delegates. Thank you for coming. We wouldn't have this conference without you. So join FIPP. Duncan said it, I'm saying it. We do great things. The Digital Innovators Summit in Berlin in the end of March is, I think, a fantastic event. And I think has really helped the industry on its digital journey. From that, we run a specialist tour to the West Coast to look at startups, to look at Silicon Valley, to look at Los Angeles. We do not make you share beds. Well, I'll put it another way. It's not compulsory to share beds. In London in May, we're going to have our FIPP London conference covering mobile, technology, innovation, and a licensing and syndication fair. Big event, lots of people, lots to do. At the end of May, we're going to run a London Media Tour. We've had lots of people saying, can we come and see and get the inside knowledge on what's happening at The Economist and Time Inc. and Immediate Media. They're all doing interesting things. So we're setting up a 3-day tour to go all around those companies and for you to find out what's happening. We're going to do the same in New York in October. And we'll visit not just the Time Incs., the Condés, the Hearsts, but probably some of the people like Vice and BuzzFeed. And at the end of the year, we'll be in Singapore, steamy Singapore, and for the Asia Pacific Conference. It's not that far away. Come along, come and meet us. FIPP London, we still have the pre-agenda special rate, by the way. So, join FIPP, come along and take part in what we do, and have a safe journey home. Thank you very much.